What's going on, everyone? Matt Dart here for another podcast episode. This is the PT Profit, Leverage, and Lifestyle Show. So I'm your host. My name is Matt, as I said. Super excited to jump on here today. I'm just on my own today. The last couple of episodes, we've had some guest speakers on. So if you haven't checked out those episodes, jump back and check them out as well. But today we're going to talk about the number one strategy for productivity. You'll be surprised on how simple this strategy is, which has, realistically generated, a lot of income for me. But more importantly, got my time back, which is the most important part. So, firstly, let's um let's quickly talk about why people struggle with productivity or why people struggle with like focus. I was reading a book called 33 Laws of Business and Life by Stephen Bartlett. And his podcast is crushing it at the moment, The Diary of the CEO. And he had someone on there and they were talking about people's attention spans or productivity, and it was something like people's attention span has gone from 12 seconds to 8 seconds in the last 20 years, which means you've got to be pretty switched on to be able to stay focused for a long period of time, or you need to, have a strategy in place to be able to stay productive. Because otherwise, I do it myself, and everyone does this. You just get caught scrolling on social media, all reels, TikToks. Like I don't have TikTok yet for this reason, because I know it's quite addictive. But Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels these days as well. You just sit there scrolling 5 second clips. Oh, that's quick attention grabs, but hit a dopamine. Um, but what like it's quite natural. Like everyone's just caught up with getting things done so much faster and convenience that the attention span's gone quite low. So it's down to 8 seconds. So quick tip on social media as well. If you don't grab someone's attention in the first couple of seconds, then you're screwed. Your engagement is down. So we're going to dive into that strategy that I personally use, and then I teach all my clients on this strategy. And as I said, it's super, super simple. Nothing that I really teach is extraordinarily different than what other people suggest. I just pick bits and pieces from other successful people, and I, you know, pick what works for me. And some things don't work, and some things do work. So it's all part of the game. I said this to a client the other day. It's all part of the game. You got to live and learn. And there's never just one way of doing certain things. So this works for me. I encourage you to try it out yourself, see if it works for you. But something else might work. Who knows? So let's get into the strategy. So this is for productivity. I tell people this is going to 10x your productivity. So there's a couple of different things you can do, but this is the number one thing. So, and if you're lucky, I might do the other thing as well. So the first thing you want to do, there's trillions of thoughts that go through your mind every single day. I don't know the exact number, but there's trillions of thoughts that go through your brain every single day. So it's natural that you're going to forget certain things, or you're going to get overwhelmed, or other things are going to come up that are going to distract you. So what you want to do, you want to get everything out of your mind onto a bit of paper. So for example, like ideally at the start of the day, and I'm very good at pre-planning my whole week to kind of brain dump everything. And I do that on a Sunday night. Sometimes a Saturday. I pre-plan the following week, so I can just come chill on Saturday and Sunday. So for me personally, I want to write everything down. So literally everything that you've got to do, every single task, you got to update client program. So Michael's program you got to update. Taylor's program you need to update. You need to pay your rent. Um, you need to film a podcast. You need to update your social media calendar. You need to post 3 reels. You need to do this. You need to book a date night, whatever it is. Whatever it is you got to do, you need to get it all out on paper so you know exactly what you need to do. So you want to do this ideally if you're planning your whole week in advance, everything you've got to do for the week. You need to put that on paper. You can also do this every single day as well, the micro tasks. Once you've got everything on paper, you want to prioritize these into A's, B's, and C's. The A's are going to be urgent tasks that need to get done, within the next 24 hours, ideally. So if you need to pay your rent, if you need to get your client program done before tomorrow, if you need to, if your wife's going to come home and you haven't booked the date night, she's going to be very upset with you. That could be an urgent one as well. Or whatever the urgent ones are. So you need to put an A beside them. Then you got to go into B's. B's are, it needs to get done, for example, this week, but it's not super, super urgent. So it's still a high priority, but it's not urgent. So this might be, you need to, let's say you need to update someone's payment details for a month's time for when they go on holidays. Or let's say you need to reconcile your Xero account. Like, it needs to get done, but it doesn't need to get done in the next 24 hours. Or for example, on the other end of that, let's say you've gotten a meeting with the accountant on Wednesday and it's Monday. That's a pretty urgent thing that you've got to have ready for the accountant. So you got A's, B's, and C's. C's are tasks that you need to get done, but there's no time restrictions on this. So what that means is you might say, one of the ones that I've been working on recently that I've been putting off is I currently use a CRM called ZipLeads, and I'm looking to change over to Go High Level for a number of reasons, but I've been putting that off for a long time. So I know I'm going to do it eventually, but there's no immediate rush. Like, all my clients are on ZipLeads, all my CRM stuff, all my contacts, all my automations, workflows, etc. All my marketing material, all my funnels are all on ZipLeads. I will change everything over to Go High Level eventually. It's just not a high priority for me right now. So that could be an example of a C. Another one could be you need to update your payment information or whatever to a different account, whatever it is. Anyway, the whole point is get A's, B's, and C's. So you've written everything out. You go in A's, B's, C's. Once you've done A's, B's, and C's, write down all the A's from 1 to 10 in highest priority. So you might have like 5 A's. So number them from 1 to 5, 1 being the highest priority, 5 being the lowest priority of the A's. Then what you do is you need to time block time in your calendar to be in complete flow. So no distractions. Get rid of your phone. Get rid of, whatever distractions you could possibly have. If you're at the gym, you might want to go to a cafe, for example. You might want to put headphones in and put on some flow music. And if you want some tips on that, I'll might give you some tips on that. Or frequency music as well. Vibrations, vibration frequency. You can look that up on YouTube. If you type in high flow frequency vibrations or high flow frequency, you get some pretty good stuff in terms of getting into a flow state. You want to remove all distractions, and you might want to time block 2 hours or however long it's going to take to finish those 5 tasks. And if you're watching the video, I'm going to share my screen on what this might look like. I time block a lot of things. You can see in here, film, podcast, and episode and upload. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm sticking to my time block. You can also see I've got called TravelX. I'm going to India at the end of this week. So I've got to call TravelX to get some currency. You can see here I've got some other things going on, but let's say, for example, I've brain dumped everything, and I'm going to put aside time from 1:30 till 3 o'clock. 8 tasks. And you're safe. So now I know at 1:30 till 3, I'm working on all those tasks that are urgent. Okay, I'm going to take it out. Yeah. Now, you can obviously move that around, but you want to make sure that it gets done. So you don't just cancel it out like I just did. You want to move it around depending on what you've got on. So if something urgent comes up that it needs your immediate attention, then you can move it around. The other thing you can do, you can time block certain tasks. If it's a big task, then you might need to allocate more time. For example, we do planning days for all of our clients every quarter, every 3 months, which is coming up at the end of March. But there's a lot of pre-work that needs to be done for the planning day. So I might need to put aside 2, maybe 3 hours for preparing for the planning day, which I'm going to need to time block out. Okay. After this hour and a half that you've done, if there is still tasks that need to be done, you then need to allocate time to get that certain task done later on in the day or later on in the week. This is so you don't forget about the task. So let's recap so far. The first thing you want to do is brain dump everything onto a bit of paper. Then you're going to prioritize A's, B's, and C's. A's being urgent, B's being high priority but not urgent, C's being priority but no time restriction, no urgency around it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Once you've done that, you're going to number the A's from 1 to 5. This is to ensure you get all your A's done, the urgent things. So like growth tasks. Growth tasks are urgent. If you're not doing growth tasks every week, you might have heard me talk about this in some other episodes. If you're not doing growth tasks every week, that is the reason why you're not growing your business. You need to be doing calls every week. You need to be doing consults every week. You need to be getting new clients every week. Your clients aren't going to stay with you forever. You need to keep growing the business. Like you'd be pretty happy if you have a 10% churn rate, so lose 10% of clients every month. So if you have 10 clients, you might lose 1 per month. You're pretty happy if you have that. Anyway, that was a slight tangent. So anyway, so you got your A, B's, and C's, number them from 1 to 5. You're going to then time block everything into your calendar so you know at certain times of the day you're working on your A's, your highest priorities, whether it's growth tasks, whether it's whatever it is. You need to make sure your A's get done like daily, really. Yeah, if you're relatively experienced at productivity or time management, you might plan your entire week like I have. So I like to pre-allocate time. Oh, let me show you an example. Pre-allocate time. So I know every week I got to send my email campaign. Every week I film a podcast. Every week I need to post my tops. So tops are tactical operating priorities, which is from the planning day. So if you haven't done that before, I might talk about that in another episode. Transactions and account balances. It's going to make sure my payments are all going through. You can see in here, I've got like my PT sessions. Let's go to a normal week so you can see what that looks like. So if you can't see the video, I'd probably suggest jumping onto Spotify or YouTube if you're not already, so you can see what this looks like. So obviously you can see how I've got coaching calls. I've got content creation for 2 hours, film podcast and upload for an hour. Here's the go high level stuff, actually. The thing that I've been putting off for a while. It's in my calendar for March. You can see I pick up Winter, which is my daughter. The travel time. So I know what I'm doing at certain times. So when I have stuff that I need to do, I can just time block it into my calendar. As you can see here, I've still got plenty of time. Plenty of time to do whatever I want to do. So I hope this is making sense, team. Now, on top of this as well, this kind of leads into the ideal week or the current week that I do with some of my clients. So essentially what that looks like for the ideal week is you're going to make an ideal week, and I'm not going to go through this full training just yet. I'll just give you a summary of what it looks like. You're basically going to put in your ideal week into a spreadsheet so you know exactly what you're doing, like every single week at certain times. Then you're going to put that into your calendar so you know what you're working on, plus you have your clients in there so you can see how much time you've actually got to spare to work on things for the business. For example, like realistically, I might move all these people to Monday, except for the coaching call, for example. I might move these PT sessions to Monday. Then I'll have Tuesday and Thursday to work purely on the business. So I need PT sessions Monday morning, Wednesday morning plus some Wednesday afternoon, and then Friday morning. I've got a lot of time to work on the business, which is how it should be really. Like obviously I'm only doing 25 to 30 sessions per week currently. But you get the idea. Even if you had 40 sessions a week, you should still be able to have time to work on the business or to work on those growth tasks or to work on things that are going to propel you forward over time. So that is the number one strategy that I would suggest, that productivity hack or strategy. It's been able to help me 10x my productivity for me and my clients to get even faster results. Success loves speed. So if you can be more productive with your time, more than likely you're going to become more successful, or you're going to get better results a lot faster. So recap, brain dump everything onto some bit of paper. Everything goes on the bit of paper. A's, B's, and C's. Number them from. Oh, sorry. Schedule them into A's, B's, and C's. A is high priority, highest priority. B is high priority but not urgent. C's are priorities that don't have the time restriction. Then number A is 1 to 10, 1 being the most important, 10 being the least important. And then time block, at least probably an hour, 2 hours. Usually those tasks take a bit of time to get those tasks done. So if you got some value from this, share it with a friend. If you can, we are an up and coming podcast. So the more people that can like or subscribe or follow us, whichever audio platform or video platform you're watching this on, be greatly appreciated. That would allow me to, help more people and serve my purpose as well. So hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next week.